Um, all right, so obviously, thanks for joining, guys. As you can see on my chart here, we have Bitcoin against the US dollar now. I'm on a BitMEX chart. I think at the moment it's smart to be on a BitMEX chart just from what happened with Bitfinex. I feel like a lot of the trading at the moment is definitely coming through BitMEX, opposed to BitMEX at the moment. So we're going to start on BitMEX. Okay, we're going to start on the weekly chart now. A lot of traders will, they'll jump on the 4 hour time frame. But I just don't think that's the long term view you need at the moment. So what's obviously happened, guys? We've got our yearly support level at that 5.8 mark. Okay, that was crucial. Now that was probably one of the largest sideways supports ever had. What happened here? We were in an 8 week trading range, so you can see obviously a weekly chart. So we had 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 week. About a 9 to 10 week trading range here. Okay, just going sideways. In between let's have a look. About a 13% range. That's a really tight range if you look at historical data or crypto, okay? So a 13% trading range, it was really tight. A big break was bound to happen, okay? Fundamentally, like the market's really strong at the moment, okay? Like, Richard was mentioning that ETF that just got approved, which is actually an ETP. So the difference between an ETF and an ETP, an ETP is an exchange-traded product. So they can sell products such as, crypto bundles, or I don't know exactly how it works, but they can sell the client products, but the client can't just spend $400,000 for them to diversify for them. Okay, it's very different. So what you've got here is we obviously broke down our trading range. Now, what that support will act as is now resistance. Okay, and I know that scares everyone. Oh, shit, someone's mic's
That's going nuts.
Yeah, I'll have to mute them. All good. Yeah, they're muted. All good. Okay, so what's obviously happened is we've broken that yearly support level. Now, yes, it's scary in a sense, but it's not really. I'll tell you why. Because imagine if that support level broke when we were heading into 2019. Like, imagine the rocky start we would have had there. So I'm actually pretty glad that it actually fell out of the bottom early, and now we can start looking forward. Like, my first buy order just went through at 4.550. So the reason I had my buy order at this level here, okay? So if we look at the chart, obviously broke that yearly support. Now what we're waiting for technically is a retest of that level, okay? And the only reason I put my buy orders here is because this is the last time that price actually pulled back before the market ran up on the bull run, okay? So you can see this is the last big pullback we had before bang, market structure broke here, okay? So that's a high. That was the previous high. So market structure broke. So there's leftover orders here, okay, from when price ran through that. So this is we call this a price cluster, okay? So it's the only real support level that we have, but it doesn't look like it's obviously doing anything here, okay? Maybe when we come deeper into the zone, I think it will hold some support. But you got to remember, this is a weekly candle, guys. So this doesn't close till, I think Sunday or Saturday afternoon, okay? So it could be a wick. It could be a full candle down, okay? Selling pressure is very strong at the moment due to a few reasons. I think there's a lot of fear in the market, and that's when you have to be buying, okay? My theory is you have to be buying when people are fearful and selling when people are greedy. I know it's the oldest saying in the book, but, I just bought here on this candle. That doesn't look like a good candle to buy on, but I'd rather buy on this candle than a huge wick, okay? Because, for me to lose money on this, it's only going to have to drop another 14%, okay? I'm not fussed with that. You know what I mean? My next buy order would have to be around the 3.2K level, okay? So, there's a few probabilities that could happen at the moment. I think if we don't hold this level at sort of, 4.3, 4.2, I definitely think 3.2K, this little pivot here. So you got previous resistance here. Okay, we had previous resistance here. It broke through, it came back and tested it as support, okay? Now, this level here is very important. If we break below that 3.2K or, 3,000 flat mark, we could definitely go lower, okay? And it's like people say in the bull market, we're not going to break 10K. We're not going to break 10K. Well, look what happens when we broke 10K. We reached nearly 20,000. So it's the exact same flipped on its head in the bear market. People say we won't reach 3K. We won't reach 3K. When I was saying, I think we're going to break 6K support, a lot of people were saying, no, we're not. So I think it's just about realizing that anything can actually happen in these markets, okay? Crypto is still very infant. like I said, 3-4 years ago, Bitcoin was only $450, even less, around $300, $200. So for us to be even at 4,300 US each coin, it makes sense as a long-term investment, in my opinion. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but I do think Bitcoin will come back, and I do believe in the tech. But not only believe in the tech, I believe in it as a commodity. Okay, it's the first online digital commodity that isn't tied in with your regular financial banks or your financial institutions. Okay, exactly. Yeah, Lee. So what do you say? Just dropped 250 in less than an hour. I'm busy shorting. Yeah, exactly. So if you're shorting it, really good work. In my opinion, it's hard to take a short at this level, just for a few reasons. The amount of times that, on a weekly candle. So look at this wick here on the weekly candle. Imagine it's selling short down here. You're going to get liquidated if you don't have a tight stop. But obviously, Lee, you understand good risk management. You know what you're doing out there. So, taking shorts, you're following the market structure, which is smart. Okay, exactly. Do it very carefully. So my opinion is, guys, I definitely have some buy orders or some buying interest at that 3.2K level. Okay, if I show you guys a log chart for BTC, it's very interesting. So I've broken down the different market cycles that I believe to be market cycles. So you can see here early inception, 2011, 2010, we rallied up, we peaked out, we pulled back. Okay, that's the end of the first cycle. Okay, so when we bottom out, that's the end of a cycle. We come up, we rally, we bottom out here. That's the end of one cycle. Okay, we come up, we come down, we bottom out here. That's the end of that cycle. We have continued to rally for a lot longer. Okay, and that is due to public interest, guys. So you can see here, these are only 440 days. This one here is only 560 days. At the moment, this cycle has lasted 1,400 days. Okay, so it's been a good bull run. Okay, people have had opportunities to make a lot of money. So when people say it can't pull back lower, there's definitely room for it to pull back more, guys. And it doesn't mean the tech's dead. I still think the tech's growing as hard as ever, and I think institutional sponsorship and institutional interest in this in crypto is higher than ever at the moment. Like, honestly, why would they come in at the bull run and start buying? It just doesn't make sense at all. And I just think, if you're not going to be buying at 3K, you should be looking at the next level, which will be $1,200, like on a weekly chart. But what I want to show you out of saying this is, every time that there's a pivot on the weekly chart, it starts an uptrend. Okay, so you can see here these red lines. That was previous resistance, market cycle. It pulled back. It bottomed out on the previous top. Okay, it rallies up. We have a pullback. Okay, that's the first pullback. It rallies up. Now we're coming back. Okay, usually past data is telling us on a log chart that every time it comes back to a previous top on the weekly chart, it has some sort of reversal. So 3K, in my opinion, looks like a good zone. Okay, like it just looks like a strong zone, because you got a support here, you got resistance there, and it's a 3K. It's a flat number. Okay, usually like markets don't really bottom out until everyone that is fearful is sold, and as well as that, it's people that are making money shorting. When people realize that there's not much money going down anymore, they're going to flip bull. That's exactly what happens in markets. Now, the markets run off two things, guys. They run off a bull and a bear, and their emotions toward the market. So everyone has a perceived value of what they think Bitcoin's worth, and it's all speculation. There's no real facts on why Bitcoin should be worth a certain amount of money. Okay, but once the bulls run out of the bears run out of steam, and they stop making money on the downside, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to flip long really quickly, and they've got a lot of liquidity, and it's going to come up quick. Okay, so I'm just sitting on the sidelines. I'm not taking too many trades at the moment. It's a hard week to start looking for trades. Okay, because anything could happen. A lot of people thought Bitcoin would start reversing. I thought it would start reversing at the 4 or 550 mark, and it hasn't budged yet. Okay, so there's obviously still a lot of selling pressure, and it's hard to know what's going to happen. But I just want to let everyone know that I do think 3K is definitely in the picture. So if you do want to put some money in, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's where my second buy-in will be. Okay, just so you know what my plan is. Are there any questions, guys, all around? Feel free to jump on the mic and just ask any questions. None. All good, Lee. I just wanted to show you guys as well. So XRP, it's obviously really interesting what's happening here. So usually what's been happening over the last 12 months, guys, you know that the whole market's been very correlated, okay? So Bitcoin will drop, alt will drop. Bitcoin will go up, alt will usually rally as well. Now, it's really fascinating to see, and a few of the guys are talking about it in the channel, that, you know, Bitcoin is dumping. It's literally dumping. And, you know, XRP and a few other altcoins, they're holding its game. So these are definitely coins you want to be looking at trading. Stuff that's in an uptrend, okay? So this is clearly in the bullish market structure. If you look at market structures, we've got a high, we've got a low, high, low, high, low, okay? So it's higher highs, higher lows all the way through. We've broken that resistance level, okay? Now we're pulling back to support. Look at that wick. There's obviously buyer interest coming in. So if you are looking at trading, guys, and you are looking at taking positions, at least take stuff that's in bullish market structure, okay? And by bullish market structure, that means higher highs, higher lows. And if you're taking shorts, make sure there's lower highs, lower lows, okay? Because as long as you got the trend on your side, you know, it's going to be easy to make money, okay? But like I was going back to, just in terms of sentiment, I think people's interests are heading back into altcoins, okay? Because you got to remember, this money runs off greed. This market runs off greed. People need to make money in this market. That's why bear markets end, because people are sick of shorting. They want to jump to the long side and make money back on the way up, okay? So it's only a matter of time before the market cycle switches, and there's going to be another bull market. It just happens in everything, okay? You look at gold, you look at silver, you look at the euro, you look at USD. They all have market cycles, okay? Are there any questions about, you know, what to be doing and what to be looking for in trading? I literally think it's really simple. You just got to look for bullish market structure and look for stuff that traders have interest in. Obviously, Ripple's very high volume at the moment, so there's a lot of trader interest. A lot of the other coins, they don't have much trader interest, so there's no point jumping in. It's going to be hard to take out your positions. It's going to be hard to take profit. You know, it's very volatile because there's not enough liquidity. A lot of issues like that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, trading alts is tough. Trading alts is very tough at the moment. Um, is anyone looking at buying in more Bitcoin? And does anyone here have a technical price that they're pretty keen on buying at, just so I can have a look at? No, all good.
I am looking at buying, but I don't know. I'm sort of watching,
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah, no. And that's perfect, man. Like, I think I can sit here and tell you guys everything I think. In the end of the day, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just giving you guys my educated opinion on what I'm seeing technically, okay? I just bought in at 4,550. I shared that publicly, and it's way below my entry now. It doesn't matter in my opinion, as long as I'm acquiring Bitcoin and as long as you're following like a strict money management rule. Like, if you've got $10,000 sitting on the side and your net worth's $10,000, you know, I'm not a financial advisor, but it'd be fucking pretty stupid to jump in and put 5 grand to crypto. Okay, it's the highest risk investment you can make. If your net worth's 10 grand, don't chuck 5 grand into crypto. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. If your net worth's 100 grand, you know, maybe putting 3 to 4 grand into crypto is a pretty good idea. 3 to 4% isn't bad. That's still pretty aggressive in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? So just be smart with your money, guys. Like, you got to remember this bear market is not over until we make a higher high, or until we get a really strong reversal, and then the market sentiment shifts. And it's really hard to pick bottoms. It's really hard, just like it's really hard to pick tops. So I think something important, guys, is like if I flip this on its head. 1 second. If I flip this and I make it inverse. Okay, so this is a Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin flipped on its head. Okay, so the chart is upside down. All right. Now, my mentor used to tell me that if you flip a chart upside down and it looks bullish, there's probably still more bearish activity to come. Now, if I was gonna say, if you just said to yourself, okay, forget that this is Bitcoin, just literally look at the chart, I'd probably say to you, this looks pretty bullish. Okay, I'd say that was a bottom, which is in reverse a top. I'd say we've rallied up. We had a lot of resistance, and we broke through an ascending triangle, which is exactly what BTC did. Okay, so I'd say that's a bullish move up. Okay, The next resistance point looks at like this zone here. Okay, so if you flip something invert scale and it looks bullish, then it's obviously still very bearish. And the reason you do that is because, think about it, when you're biased on something, like have you ever been in a trade, guys, and you don't actually know why you're in it, but you just want it to go the way you want it to go. Okay, so flipping it upside down will just literally change your whole perspective on it. I'd be lying if I said this didn't look bullish now, which means it looks bearish, okay, because it's inverse. So, there could be a lot more downside. But, there are fundamental things like, it doesn't really make sense for Bitcoin to drop under that 1K, 2K mark. But in the end of the day, like, no one cares about fundamentals. It's whatever the market wants, okay? But I do think if we do get that low, guys, it's going to come back pretty quick and it will happen really fast. This bear market has literally been going on for about 12 months now and it's just flown by, okay? So, I wouldn't be saying I want to get out of crypto. Like a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines with crypto now. And I think this is the best time to just start learning, start reading books, start actually learning about these markets because there's a lot of money in it long term if you know what you're doing. So if you want to know how to invert your chart, just literally go to settings, go to scale, and invert scale. Okay.
I quite like that. That's cool.
Yeah, no, it's a good little trick. Okay, and I do it all the time on myself because if I've got a big position on something, and I can feel myself getting biased towards what I want to see on the chart because I have a vested interest in it. So you can see whatever the fuck you want on a chart, and that's why I'm not a big trend line user because you can chuck a trend line anywhere and you can make it fit. Okay, everyone knows that a trend line is the least reliable TA tool. That's why I use mostly horizontal lines. Okay, and you'll rarely see me use a trend line. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying you can change them to what you want to see. So if you ever want to look at a chart inverse, just go to settings, scale, invert scale. Okay. So there's a little TA tool for everyone to have a look at. So my next buy is around the 3K, 3.2K mark. Feel free to follow me. Feel free not to. In the end of the day, I've told you I don't really know what is going to happen. I'm just using past data and TA.
So do you have a stop for the Bitcoin that you already just brought?
Nah, man. So that's long term for me, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I said, I do pretty strict money management. So that buy-in I just did was only 2% of my total fiat.
Yep.
So it's only a really small amount. And like when I put it into Bitcoin, I'm long term, dude. You know what I mean? So a lot of people will jump into crypto and they're trying to make US dollar. They're always looking at the US dollar amount of their account. But I reckon tracking Bitcoin value is really important, man. Because think about it, if you build Bitcoin value now, and we do take out an all-time high, the USD value will follow automatically. Do you know what I mean? And like Bitcoin value is key. If that's what you're investing in, you're investing in online tech. Like I think it's smart to build Bitcoin value, to be honest with you, because like US dollar, you've already got US dollar in your bank account, or you've already got Aussie or NZ dollar in your bank account. So what's the point of investing in a separate market where you're trying to leave the standard institutions and your standard banking systems? What's the point of only trying to make US dollar when you should be trying to make more Bitcoin? That's what we all joined for. So that's just my theory on it. I think if you're pro Bitcoin, you want to build Bitcoin value, and that's why trading for Bitcoin value is very important. And always thinking in percentages, guys. Not thinking in fuck, I lost $400 today. That could have paid half of my rent. That's the worst thing you can do as a trader. Okay. So they're my thoughts. Are there any other questions, guys? I'm happy to sit on for a little bit more and just talk about it. If everyone's all good, then all good.
It was very, very helpful.
Yeah, cool. Did that help a lot?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, look, what I'll do is I'll obviously be, Lee. So there will be some BitMEX trades. Let's actually have a look through what's going on now. Okay. So I just literally been paper trading. I'm trying to sort this market out. So what happened here? Look at EOS, for example. Okay. Big support level, support. Okay, resistance. You break a resistance level, it's usually supposed to pull back and find some support here. Dumps straight back through. Okay. So what's happening is the market's tricking. It's trying to trap bulls. Okay. I think we're still very bearish. So let me just get a direction first, and then we'll start. I'll start setting out what I'm looking at. But I'm just paper trading, making sure I'm getting a good direction. All right. Thanks for coming on, guys. I hope that really helped.
Yeah, nice. Cheers for that, bro.
Anytime, bro. Have a good night, guys. Have a good day, Lee. See you, everyone else.
Cheers.